Our Talk to Doc series of What to Ask Your Doctor at Each Stage of Life wraps up this morning with What to Ask Your Doctor when it comes to your end-of-life decisions, and health specialist Leah Sarich with what to think about and why it's so important to convey your wishes to your loved ones.
Yeah, that is really important. So what a great week it's been. We've covered all the stages of life. So inevitably we come to the last stages of life and those end-of-life decisions. So Dr. Raj Bardwaj says doctors have always tried to cheat death. Of course, that's what they do. That's their job. But the reality is we all die. So ideally we'd love to die after a wonderful night with friends and family in our beds at home, but sadly this rarely happens. So Dr. Raj says, the other thing is we never know when it's going to happen either, right? Nobody knows. So it's really never too late to start thinking about what you want your death to look like.
Let's say I'm found collapsed on the ground. Do I want people to try to bring me back to life? Right? If I have no heartbeat and I'm dead, do I want people to bring me back to life? Okay. What are the chances that if I am found down with no heartbeat, that if people do everything, if they shock me and they do CPR and they put a tube down my throat and all that other stuff, what are the chances that I'm going to get back to my normal functioning? That is pretty small.
It is pretty small. In fact, Dr. Raj tells me only about 1 to 2% of people will actually return to meaningful life after a situation like that. So only 1 to 2%. So that's worth considering. And we don't realize that because, of course, on TV and in the movies, people get shocked and all of a sudden they're like, oh, that was so crazy. Let's go get the bad guy, right? We just don't realize that that is, in fact, a very rare recurrence. So real life isn't like that. So Dr. Raj says you really need to talk to your doctor about what your options are. He also says it's really helpful if you can start to learn some of the language that's used around some of those end-of-life decisions, because that'll help you understand the options that you have. So, and there are many different levels of care as well. So basically, Dr. Raj says doctors are going to give all of that care to you unless you tell them otherwise. So do I only want comfort measures, for example? That's one of the terms they use. Partial resuscitation, full resuscitation. It's useful to know what all of that means. So you can talk to your doctor about that, and they can help you understand that. Then once you've made your decisions, this is the really important part, they need to be recorded. So in a will, in a statement, or even on a video, it doesn't really matter where. But then the most important thing is you need to communicate those messages to everyone in your family if you can. That would be the ideal situation. It's not enough just to have it written down.
Even if you have written it down, but you haven't told anybody about it, and then something's going on and your partner comes in and says, no, ignore what he wrote down, do what I say. A lot of times we're going to ignore what you wrote down and do what the person says, because that's, it's human nature, right? You've got a loved one there who, apparently knows you very, very well and maybe knows more information than when that document was done. So it's a tough time. It's a tough situation to be in. Let's try to make it easier.
Right? Why not make it easier? So that's really all about making sure everybody knows what your wishes are. A substitute decision maker is really great. And include in those decision making those final arrangements. Do I want to be buried? Do I want to be cremated? Include that in some of those decisions. And remember that it takes time to make these decisions, right? So give yourself to start now. Start thinking about it now. It takes a long time to figure out what exactly you want. And it could change over time. So keep that in mind as well. So really what you want to do is go to my blog, because on my blog I've got a link to a really wonderful website that you and your doctor can go over together, and it outlines all the various options out there, and also it helps you understand all of the language that's used as well.
Okay, great information, Leah. What a great series this week.
And a big shout out to Dr. Raj Bardwaj. He was so great this week and provided us with such wonderful information.
Great insights. Okay, breakfasttelevision.ca for Leah's blog. Thank you very much.